Hello, we're back. Welcome back to Band of Badgers. We're going to do some more kind of mystery unboxings. We're going to have open these up, and we've got two people with us who you've seen before. You know, Steve, who's in. I don't know why I'm looking over there. I'm looking over there, but obviously he's up there on your screen, but on my screen he's over there. I've got two monitors in front of me, and also Josh, who is there-ish. There we go. Who are also curious enough to actually find out about what's going on. Hello, Steve. Hello, Josh. And just at that moment, they freeze.
Hello. Good.
Hello.
There we go. Just at that point, you freeze. You know, we're looking at this and we're getting some different kind of bit rates. So we're just going to see how we go. My internet connection is now showing as unstable, but we'll do as much as we can. I've asked the guys to tell me if I start talking like this or breaking up. They have to do that as soon as they can. I'm hitting red again. How are we doing, guys? Is it looking okay?
Yeah,
sounding okay?
You froze for a bit. You're okay now, and the Zoom feed is okay at the moment.
Okay, we're hitting 27% losses at the moment, so we'll see if this actually holds up. But anyway, thank you for joining us again. We are going to be doing another giveaway. So if you didn't know, if you haven't been here before, we do 3 unboxings, and I've got a collection of items next to me. I'll swap the cameras around so you can see what we're doing. But we'll do one at a time, and what we're going to do for you who are joining us on Twitch, you'll get to see the whole thing in one go. But what we do is we chop it up into little bits and pieces, and then we can stick it onto YouTube because it will come off of Twitch at some point. So we've got a few things for you today, a range of things, but it'll kind of you'll see how it all kind of connects. So, are we ready to get started, guys? These are my reviewers who are. Also, if you're joining us on Twitch, put any questions into the chat. These guys will moderate for me, and during one of the pickups, we will pick a winner. We'll do that later today. What else was there? Oh, if you're watching this on YouTube, check out the links below for discounts and offers from some of our collaborators. So you'll get a few good deals in that way. So our first item is, I will switch camera because I can. I should have the power to do that. And there we go. Look at these lovely items here. You are now on this camera, moving around. So we've got these little things down here. It's like you're actually here, Josh, but you're not. You're on my screen there, and I can wave to you there, but I can hear you in my head. It's very strange. So we've got these little boxes to go through. We've got this one to go through that was sent in, and this one. We've had a lot of questions and queries. I don't know which camera I'm supposed to be looking at. We've had a lot of questions and queries about what this is. If you've seen it sitting behind me on some of our campaigns on YouTube and some of the things we've done on our free giveaways and the unboxings, we've had a lot of questions about what this actually is. This was mixed in with the Art of Arcana, with some board games and some Beadle and Grimm stuff. So we're going to unbox this one. But first, we're going to start with these little boxes. What could they be? So I have my little cam in front of me. So I have this camera. I'm switching back to this one now for you to see. But we also have this camera. This camera will allow me to get a proper kind of look into what's here. We shall start with this one. So we get this one out of the way. And straight away, so this is from a company, a UK-based company called 3D&D. They do basically 3D printing, 3D&D. They do a lot of miniatures, and they also offer a monthly subscription basis where you can select from a range of fantasy designers who are producing 3D models. These aren't whiz kids. These are actual various designers who have come up with their own creatures and NPCs and hero characters. And 3D&D will set up a subscription for you, and you can have those printed. You can also pay for specific printed items. That's okay. If you go to places like Eldritch Foundry and Hero Forge, and you make yourself a custom mini, and you get the what is it, Steve? What kind of file is it?
It's an STL
An
file.
STL file. Thank you very much.
You're
That's
welcome.
what these guys are there. You see, they pick up on the bits that I forget because I'm managing a lot of stuff here. I'm in lockdown, man. There's a lot of stress and pressure going on. So you get the STL file from Hero Forge and Eldritch Foundry, which you can buy for like $5 to $10. And Dan and Jimmy over at 3D&D here in the UK will print them for you, which will save you a ton of money on postage costs, because buying from the States at the moment is horrendous. Not only that, they throw in a surprise every now and then. So you get the minis that you want, but they also have a kind of monster of the month. Now this month, as you can see, this is my really bad painting attempt, was the owlbear. And at the time of, if you're watching this on YouTube, the time of this is July, which means it's after D&D Live. That means it's after Rime of the Frost Maiden was announced, which means my hopeless painting attempt of trying to do a snowy owlbear. But as you can see, the detail, I'm trying to get right up to the camera on this one. This is going to aim a bit harsh now. Go on, get your head in there. You can see the detail.
It doesn't have articulated limbs that you can turn its head all the way around, but
you know what? There's actually
missed opportunity.
We should try and do that. There is a company that do magnetic heads and arms and weapons, and they are very good. It's a very unique mini, but we should get in touch with them. Hey, if you're watching Magnetic Heads and Arms Person Mini, get in touch and we will put your product on our gaming tables. But
So
you can see
I'll go and look up what the Kickstarter's called.
Yeah, they were on Kickstarter. They've obviously finished.
Magnetic heads and limbs.
You can see my hopeless painting attempt. This isn't not finished, obviously. But there's my attempt. There's the owlbear. Now this also came along with a baby snowy owlbear, which was actually really cute. But he's over on my painting table, so he's not going to join us today. But you get not just the snowy owlbear, but you get the baby owlbear to go with it, and lots of sharp kind of feathers and bits are sticking out. So they can do this. Now also in the box, it wasn't just that. I also got a range of minis. So there's the box. It's empty. Oh, it's not empty. There's some bits in there. I know what those are. I also ordered some other bits. Well, it's fallen off. Now, to make things easier, what they've started doing is doing pieces. So if you've ever had a Reaper miniature, sometimes you have to glue the pieces together. Now here, what would you call it? The wrist joint is slightly hollowed out to allow the sword point on here. This is really hard to show with my fingers. Actually, my fingers are too big. To nicely sit inside that, and there we go. So if you was to glue that, that would handle pretty well. But this is a guy who has his shield on one hand, you see. So he's got a flaming sword and a shield. If you check out 3dnd.co.uk, you see a whole range of their mini figures. They've got monsters, NPCs, and heroes from different designers. But you can see that. So that was a really nice way of doing that. There's a lantern hand in there. I've got the shield. The shield.
I'm guessing that's not an STL one that it is. That's more of a predetermined one, because obviously the options that you got with it.
Yeah. So if you check out his website, there's a full range of different items. But you can see the detail. You can write your own like glyph on there or markings. They're actually really nice. Each one is individually bagged. Each one comes with a base, which is nice to see. So we've got him there. We've got the snowy one. I've got a guard. We've got a sword. You can see that the sword is still in the bag. There's the guard. Try and get right up to the camera. There we go. And you can see the wrist joints there. So the ball items of the weapons or any items they may be holding allows you to glue it in place and kind of articulated, as we were talking about earlier. But it's a nice little detail. And then who's this guy? This guy is the one with a big shield. So again, you get the base, there's the sword. This guy's got like a tower shield there. And this is the town guard.
They look a lot simpler than Warhammer.
Yes, a lot more basic. But Steve, this could not our Steve, but in Avernus Rising, if you're watching one of our campaigns, this, if I had this ready and painted and finished, that could have been Steve, the Flaming Fist Guard.
Yes.
On the Guard from the Watch, see, who's sadly no longer with us. He died in the spoilers. He died in the Avernus campaign. But so that's a kind of an idea of what they do. Now they also do. Here's another pack that I got from Dan and Jimmy. They also do these things. Now this is like a jug head. This is called a dice head. So they've got all kinds of these. They've got heroes and monsters. Now imagine an egg cup, but for your D20. So you could list these on your table. This one Dan actually painted for me. Dan is a slightly better painter than me, but not by much. Don't tell him that. But as you can see, the detail there. And if I get let's get one of my masks.
Is it bad that it reminds me of Rugrats?
Maybe. I think I'm too old for Rugrats. But yeah, so there you go.
That's my youth.
In there. See?
They're pretty cool. They'd be nice to have for like the inspiration dice or the hero points that we do in the Eberron campaign.
You could do that
when we were at the table.
So 3D&D also do many of the conventions up and down the UK, and obviously you can buy these online. But I did like the Mind Flayer one, and I was quite partial to the zombie one, which I quite like. They come unpainted, I believe, but if you pay extra, Dan might actually paint it for you. But yeah, it's something different. You can have that on your table. You can have your whole party. If you got the table wizard, the table cleric, get them all done. Or DM, that's something to gift your players, maybe. Get them a dice head.
If, let's say, for example, we went on to Hero Forge, we designed our heroes for an upcoming campaign, and then we wanted big head versions of those heroes to put our inspiration dice in at the table. Yep. Is that something that Dan would offer as well? Can he edit the STL file for your hero and explode the head and make it into one of those little egg cups?
At the moment, I'm going to say no. However, Dan or Jimmy, if you're watching this on YouTube, put your answer in the comments below. If you're watching this on Twitch, speak up. Get on that Twitch chat. Let Steve know the answer. I think at the moment, they're not editing the STL files. I think they will literally print what you've got. Right. But it's a good question. Why not? So
I think that would look really nice. You got your mini on the table, you're playing with it, and then you've got that little, it's just a little nice thing to have. So it's your character sheet. Put your inspiration dice in there, representing your character as well. It's pretty good. Or have a series of them and use them as initiative trackers or something as well as another option.
Yeah, I mean it's exactly that. It's a little bit something nice and fun to bring to the table. I mean, we all, as players, we all like dice trays and different coloured dice. Everyone likes to have their dice sets. Everyone likes to have their own kind of player. You've played. I've been a player in your campaigns, Josh. We've been players on the same table in the same games. You've seen my player packs I build just for me because I want things to be organised. So any kind of knickknacks like this, I love. It's just something silly and quirky. I love it. I actually like the fact it does look like the top of his head has been removed, and it's slightly more pinky reddy inside. Yeah. But yes, I was quite
optimized version of your character.
Yeah, this is what happens when they die. There you go. Yeah. Immortalize them forever.
Don't lose your head.
Yeah, exactly. Boom.
So if Dan is watching this,
he's here all night, folks,
or watches this later on, please can we have some Xenomorph alien versions of that, please?
Oh, there you go. So the request has been made, Dan. Now, also in this box, if you remember, we did this. What was it? I think it was on Eberron, wasn't it? We did a Chaos Troll.
Yeah, Chaos Trolls. 3 Chaos Trolls.
And I said to Dan, this was a giveaway in the monthly, so I buy the monthly subscription. He hasn't just sent me these. But we gave away a pack of 3 of these from 3D&D, but this is a Chaos Troll. Now, he needs to be painted. What I like about I don't know if it will show up. What I like about this is the shoulder pads and the knee pads. It's just bits of wood that have been he's strapped to himself, and he's got these giant tusks coming out of his mouth. He's got a skull as a groin piece, because we all need that. Now in his hand, like the mini minis, this is a bigger mini. He's got a handle. Now in the set below, I've got bits and pieces of optional weapons. They all start. I think out the rest of the pieces as well. We've got optional weapons, but he has a giant battle axe. So we have an axe head, double-headed axe head that you can put on there. He is pretty vicious, so I'm actually looking forward to painting him up and getting him on the table. But I do like the look of that. Much like these, if you can see these on the table now, I've got some more figures. Now, 3D&D have recently done new bases, so they have their branding on their bases now. There you go, 3D&D. Oh, which I should actually just bring up. So, just to point out that 3D&D is available at 3dand.co.uk. There's a web address there. Also, use the voucher code D&D Badgers and you'll get yourselves 10% off. It's a really good saving. We have a club discount on that, so even if you're not a club member, you can still use it. That's fine. Get yourself 10%.
Is that D&D Badgers in capitals or? Oh, there we go.
No, it doesn't matter. It's all it's all one piece. It doesn't matter if it's uppercase, lowercase. It all still works. But you can see their branding there on the bottom of the base. Obviously, the base is flat, but you can see I have a collection of weapons, of various weapons. Mm-hmm. So these minis I picked up in one of the months that I ordered, and I love these. I think they're the best designed Sahorian that I've seen. These are better than WizKids.
Yeah, they are. They are very clean there. And we've had them in the Eberron campaign, the Friday Night Fights, and I couldn't get hold of a mini for them.
Yeah, they're
fish-like creatures, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes. So they're humanoid fish-like creatures. If you're playing Ghosts of Saltmarsh, you will need a few of these. We've played Ghosts of Saltmarsh. We have it on our YouTube channel as one of our lists. Now, again, you're not going to really see that, but it is highly detailed. Check out 3D&D, their website. They have better images of what these look like. Because it's a dark plastic, you're not really appreciating the detail. But these are superb, and you have optional weapons and tridents that you can use. I love these. Really, really nicely detailed, and each model is slightly different. So here's the next one. This one, he's jumping off a bit of a coral reef there, ready to attack. It's very reminiscent of a proper merman. I was thinking of literally the merman from He-Man. He's got the gills, he's got the detail, he's actually got scales. There's no way that this little camera is going to pick it up, or I can even find the camera. But there are
cool scales. If you had bits of card with it as well, with the actions and stuff with the character that you're getting in the pack. That would be quite nice as an extra.
I think I would love that as well. I would love the monster encounter cards. Dan and Jimmy, there's an idea.
Maybe paying a bit extra for those.
But even if you did, again, I've mentioned to Dan as well that I'm playing Avernus, and because as you guys both know, I've already pre-ordered the Beadle and Grimm version of Rhymer Frostmaiden, which is a £500 investment. Now we're going to get some minis with that, but I think Dan and Jimmy should concentrate on doing box sets of getting you the minis for what you need. So rather than buying 1 or 2 or 3, if you go into a gaming store and buying WizKids minis or Reaper minis, they're still £5 a pop. But if you get the book and read Descent into Avernus, it has the whole list of monsters you need. If you could put together a collection of set, like a dragon set, a zombie set, an undead set, the stuff you need for Avernus, the stuff you need for Ghost of Saltmarsh, I think you could do that very, very well.
Yeah, like a campaign thing that you buy the things that you
Yeah.
need for the campaign. Yeah, because if you remember those magazines that they used to bring out, where you start by buying the first magazine that gives you the first part, and you have to keep buying the subscription to the next
Yeah.
part. You could do that with maybe the campaign that you buy per section of the campaign that you're doing, because you may not
Yeah.
need them all immediately, but you prepare yourself for the future.
Yeah.
So when I started, very good.
No, go on. I was going to say we should try and get Dan on chat, but get him on the channel. Where are you, Dan? Are you in the chat?
He's not, no.
Oh. See, then we need his questions. I'm just trying to. Go on, what was your question, Steve?
I was just going to say that, you talk about reading the books and stuff. So when I was going to the Yawning Portal, I just Googled what minis I needed. So there's Reddits out there that are literally just dedicated to, this is a campaign, these are the minis you're going to need for every encounter, and it was just a list. And then it was a case of going on Mighty Lancer and trying to find them, because often they're out of stock, particularly over the Christmas period, New Year period, where there's been a lot of purchasing, and it's always the goblins, kobolds, orcs, those sort of things that you need, like 4 or 5 of, skeletons, zombies, that's out of stock.
Yeah.
So that is a good idea, of having a series of subscription boxes that over like a 4 or 5 month period deliver you the entire range of minis required to run that campaign, because you aren't going to need all of them to start with, and you don't really want to buy all of them up front because it's a big investment.
I think so. I think the ideas, Dan should be jumping up and down on this.
Yeah, even if the campaigns sold the STL files separately that they can send off to people that can print them off as well, that you buy the digital STL files that they build with the campaign,
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a huge support market for building your hero. There isn't one for going and building your army, sort of thing, as the DM.
Yeah. That puts companies like Games Workshop out of with the ones that you get in the little packs.
Yeah, but they do have some quality minis at Games.
Yeah, they do.
There's some interesting ones as well. Particularly like the undead sets and devil sets and stuff like that.
I've bought lots of Warhammer skeletons, just because you need more than one skeleton. But you can see the detail on this one. Like the light is just picking it up. This one is superb. So I picked up 3 of these Scorpion, and this one has 4 arms. And again, an absolutely,
that's a chieftain.
Yeah, and look at it might just pick it up, but look, he's actually got teeth sticking out. Look, that's his side bite. He's got proper fangs. I'm trying to line it up in the middle of the screen, not very successfully, but
trying to paint that would set me off, because I have to be precise and perfect when I do that.
Something I haven't done at the moment is actually paint a proper 28mm mini. I've started with the bigger ones and terrain pieces, because I'm learning at the moment. But I was so pleased with these. I'm going to order more, because Ghost of Saltmarsh, fantastic campaign. I will be playing it again. Now, some of the other bits that 3D&D do are, because it's a 3D printing company, it's not just about minis. So I asked him to do, I wanted an item that they could print for my Descent into Avernus campaign. Now, if you're a fan of Descent into Avernus, like me, I love the story of it. It's a very good, fairly short campaign actually, but it's a great adventure. And I wanted soul coins. Now Steve knows I've actually bought some coins, and many of you who have seen our Descent into Avernus campaign on YouTube, I also purchased or invested in the Beadle and Grim one. Beadle and Grim means that you get the like Han Cholo metal coins and jewelry pieces and things like that. But again, to buy extras, they're fairly affordable. I think it's about $20. It was the postage on top. And then here in the UK, you can also get stung with handling surcharge and VAT on top. So you end up paying quite a lot for postage, for shipping, international shipping from the States. So I asked Dan if he would 3D print me one. It's super light. It's just plastic. I've already primed this, apart from that bit, which is where I had my finger, where I was holding it. So there was that one. There's also the Flaming Fist badge. So this is a nice chunky bit of plastic, very similar to Dungeons and Lasers kind of thickness, but it's beveled. It's got raised flame shield on there, so heavily embossed. And that is something I'm looking to paint these as well. So I can paint them, put a bit of matte varnish on, and it'll all be sealed in quite nicely.
So did you get the STL file for those, or was that something that Dan developed from image you sent him?
So these are 3D files that I found on a website called Thingiverse. So Google Thingiverse. There's a whole range of free STL files that you can download. So then Dan was kind enough to print these for me and stick them into my monthly subscription. We do a lot of cross-promotion, collaboration. So again, if you happen to have a product, or you're trying to get a product launched, or you've got a Kickstarter, we'd be more than happy to stick them onto our gaming tables. Again, check out our YouTube and our Facebook. We have lots of things that we can do for you to get it in front of our audiences. Plus, once it's on a gaming table, and we can do an unboxing and review like this, we get to use them. And then the audience can actually see these things in practice and how they're supposed to be. So do consider doing that. Just drop us a line on Facebook or a YouTube message or anything. And this is another item. This is a coin or a sigil of Baal. And I liked that. I thought I can use that again. You'll see an item coming up later in another unboxing, which we'll be talking about symbols like these.
What do you tend to use them for, David? Is it just like handouts, or is it just to show people visibly? Or
literally handouts. When you're on my gaming table, not our online games as such, because the online games, all I can do is go, look what I've got. This is what you just picked up. But what I do in my table is I do a lot of handouts, and it could be parchments, letters, someone from the Kings, that kind of thing. Treasure, we've got treasure chests. Steve will know when we did the kids games, we had chocolate gold coins that the kids run. We've got foam D20s that the kids can throw around. So having physical items that we can give to players is really, really nice. And also, if you happen to be, so it goes around the table, but then Josh, you end up holding that. It sits next to your character sheet for whatever reason. Now I know that item's cursed. So me as a DM, I'm now looking around the table to go, right, who's got the cursed item? And you don't. So we can do lots of things like that where we can promote these artifacts. And they mean more than they mean more to the DM, and then the players have something to solve and get unveiled. With plus the reusability of having these items, you can use it anytime you go to Baldur's Gate and you need a Flaming Fist guard, or one of your characters is a Flaming Fist guard, or you get promoted, you have to become the Flaming Fist. Hand these out to your players. I have absolutely loved having these, and 3D printing is fantastic. You can get away with having these artifacts now on your tables at a really cheap cost. You don't have to have metal ones or anything else. You can get these. Don't get me wrong, the stuff that Hand Shadow does is amazing, and again, we have a different box for those, and we'll show you them. But I've absolutely loved the designers. I don't know their name. Valley Victus is one of them. Dan, I've noticed you've turned up in chat. We need to get you on screen for this. But basically, we're talking about the designers that you've got, and we've come up with 101 ideas for you, Dan, already. So I think Band of Badgers should get 10% of sales now. But I think Dan needs to buy us all pizza. That's what it's going to be. Isn't that right, Dan? Yes, it is. Yeah, so he's laughing in chat. So the detail on these is absolutely superb. So although Dan has just joined us, he's going to have to catch up and watch us on YouTube, because we've been talking about loads of different minis, loads of different ideas, subscription services, and even dice heads, Dan. We've been talking about dice heads. Steve had a great idea for dice heads.
I've already asked him that question just because I'm selfish.
There you go. So I think do check out 3D&D. I have one. They're based in the UK, so it means that we'll cut back to me. Here I am. So having a 3D printer readily available to answer your questions, great customer service. I've met the guys. I've known the guys. I've played D&D with the guys, Dan and Jimmy. That's how I actually met. And also, while I've got Dan on the channel, because of our Strahd game, me and Alex, we were throwing money at Jimmy. I think it was £5 or £15 each, for those flame wall things. He was going to get semi-translucent plastic stuff, so he can make those flames. We never did get our flames. We never did. So bear that in mind when you make millions, that we want our flame walls. So any other questions from anyone else before we change to a different box? We've slightly run over. I think we kept half hour.
The response on the dice says that they can resize the dice sets, and also they can do it without the hollows as well.
Oh, so
Dan has said that he will sort out the flame walls as well. So
right, I tell you what. Skip the flat. Just give me all the devil minis that you can for Descent into Avernus, and we'll. But Dan, we need to talk about Pathfinder and other things. Okay, so we need to have a chat about those. But look, it puts my head on his. There you go. Hello.
Oh, look at you.
Ranger.
Mask of Zorro.
Right, what we're going to do, stay with us on Twitch. We're going to go straight to the next box. However, if you're watching this on YouTube, we're going to stop the video now. So you have to go back into YouTube and find another video, because that's what we do. If you like watching this live on Twitch, we're going to do 3 unboxings. And then we'll come back to them. The ones that we get the most suggestions on, we'll come back and we'll do a lot more detail on these. We're going to get Dan on one time. We've been talking to Dan about doing like a painting thing as well. So again, without your comments in the below in the YouTube video, we can't really do much. So let us know what you want to see more of. So we're gonna wrap up the. And for one more time, quickly, there you go for the user people who are watching. It's 3D&D based in the UK, and you'll get 10% off your voucher using the D&D Badgers discount code on any purchase. And the website is www.3dand.co.uk. Okay, so we're going to end this one here, but if you're watching on Twitch, please stay with us. Bye.